Hello guys. Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today, we're diving into the explosive developments surrounding Drew, Michael, Willow, and the devastating custody battle over Wiley and Amelia on ABC's General Hospital. Let's unpack every dramatic twist. After losing the intense courtroom battle for custody of Wiley and Amelia to Michael, Drew's character has taken a dark and drastic turn. His loss deeply wounds not only his pride but also Willow, the woman he passionately loves. Seeing Willow suffer sends Drew spiraling into a state of anger and desperation, completely transforming him from the calm and measured man we've known into a volatile and vengeful figure. Unable to handle the reality of the court's decision, Drew becomes consumed by the need for revenge. Driven by fury, Drew acts rashly, kidnapping Amelia and Wiley from Michael, plunging Port Charles into chaos. Michael, blindsided by Drew's aggressive actions, spirals into panic and desperation, desperately trying to reach Drew to ensure his children's safety. When Michael finally makes contact, Drew's demands are chillingly clear. Michael must surrender custody back to Willow immediately. Drew threatens horrifying consequences, promises to harm Wiley and Amelia if his conditions aren't swiftly met. Michael's world collapses around him as fear for his children's lives overtakes all else. Struggling with emotions and the impossibility of the situation, Michael initially feels powerless against Drew's ruthless tactics. However, behind the scenes, the wheels of justice swiftly begin to turn. Detective Dante Falconeri, known for his sharp instincts and resourceful investigative skills, quietly traces Drew's location. Dante understands the gravity of the situation and the urgency required to protect Wiley and Amelia from harm. With careful precision, Dante plans a calculated rescue operation, coordinating with the Port Charles Police Department to ensure everyone's safety. Meanwhile, Michael, in consultation with Dante and the authorities, formulates a risky strategy to protect his children. To buy time, Michael pretends to comply with Drew's demands. He communicates convincingly, maintaining the facade that he's willing to transfer custody rights to Willow immediately. Drew, driven by desperation and believing he's finally in control, remains unaware that his location and plan have already been compromised. As Drew waits for confirmation of custody transfer documents, Dante and his team swiftly move in. The dramatic rescue unfolds with palpable tension. Dante bursts onto the scene, confronting Drew with both compassion and authority. Drew, cornered and increasingly unstable, initially refuses to surrender, gripping tightly to his last ounce of power. The confrontation escalates into a tense standoff, as Dante patiently tries to reason with Drew, reminding him of who he once was, a respected, honorable man driven by kindness rather than revenge. However, Drew's emotional breakdown reaches its peak. Unable to clearly see the damage he's inflicted, Drew insists he acted only out of love and desperation. But Dante, resolute in his mission to protect innocent lives, ultimately must act decisively. With quick thinking and firm but compassionate authority, Dante apprehends Drew, successfully ensuring Wiley and Amelia's safety. The two frightened children are immediately reunited with their father, Michael, who is overwhelmed by relief. Following Drew's dramatic capture, the fallout reverberates through Port Charles. Willow, who genuinely cared for Drew, is heartbroken and devastated by his actions. She's forced to confront the painful reality of Drew's transformation, questioning her own role in his downward spiral. Willow's emotional struggle further complicates her own already fragile health, creating poignant moments as she navigates this personal tragedy. Michael, deeply shaken, reevaluates his priorities, understanding how quickly relationships and family bonds can fracture under pressure. His relationship with Willow is tested again, but compassion eventually softens his stance toward her, realizing how deeply she's suffered through these traumatic events. Despite his earlier custody victory, Michael begins to consider a more compassionate co-parenting arrangement, realizing the importance of stability and emotional support for Wiley and Amelia, particularly after enduring such trauma. Drew faces severe legal repercussions for his actions, highlighting how profoundly his desperation transformed him into someone barely recognizable. Now imprisoned and alone, Drew must confront the painful consequences of his choices. From within prison walls, Drew gradually begins to reflect deeply on the events that led him here, experiencing genuine remorse as the fog of anger slowly lifts. Port Charles, still reeling from these dramatic events, struggles to find balance once more. Michael and Willow begin carefully piecing together a more supportive environment for their children. Both of them commit to ensuring Wiley and Amelia's emotional recovery and well-being following their harrowing ordeal. The community watches anxiously as these beloved characters strive to rebuild their lives, relationships, and trust. Each character faces lasting scars from the experience, shaping future interactions and emotional landscapes. Dante emerges as a steadfast figure, respected for his courage and integrity. Michael begins to reconsider the rigid attitudes he's held, becoming more empathetic towards those around him. Willow must navigate her heartbreak, balancing emotional healing with ongoing health challenges, further complicating her journey. Ultimately, this storyline reinforces powerful themes of redemption, the resilience of familial bonds, and the delicate balance between love and obsession. Drew's tragic fall from grace serves as a potent cautionary tale, underscoring the destructive power of unchecked emotions. Meanwhile, Michael's gradual transformation toward deeper empathy and Willow's inner strength amidst adversity provide hopeful and uplifting notes amidst tragedy. Next, we will dive into the electrifying developments brewing in Port Charles as tantalizing previews hint at a seismic encounter between Lulu Spencer and Isaiah Gannon next week. Fans are buzzing with anticipation over a seemingly innocent drink date that could morph into a whirlwind of passion, shaking the very foundations of relationships for multiple beloved characters. This article will explore every angle of this potential game-changer, from the fiery chemistry between Lulu and Isaiah to the ripple effects on Jordan Ashford, Dante Falconeri, and beyond. With fresh details, inventive twists, and deep dives into character motivations, prepare for a spoiler-filled journey into the heart of General Hospital drama. A charged encounter at the Metro Court. Lulu Spencer, still navigating the emotional wreckage left by Dante Falconeri's bitterness over her uncovering the truth about Giovanni Joe Palmieri as his secret son with Brooklyn Quartermain, finds herself at a crossroads. Her heart aches from Dante's icy demeanor, and she's desperate for a distraction. Enter Isaiah Gannon, a man whose own life has taken unexpected detours after his role in Jordan Ashford's covert mission against the dangerous Jen Sidwell fizzled out. Previews tease that their paths cross at the upscale Metro Court Lounge, a hotspot for Port Charles intrigue, where flickering candlelight and the clink of cocktail glasses set the stage for something more than casual conversation. Their initial banter, reportedly laced with playful undertones, hints at an undeniable attraction. Could this be the spark Lulu needs to break free from her past? And might Isaiah see in her a chance to redefine his own future? As they share martinis, their shared sense of being sidelined Lulu by Dante's rejection and Isaiah by Jordan's shifting priorities creates a magnetic pull. GH fans can't help but wonder if this moment will echo the impulsive, bar-side passion of Michael Corinthos and Sasha Gilmore Corbin from seasons past. A hookup that started with a drink and ended in life-altering consequences. From flirty drinks to forbidden passion. As the night unfolds, sources suggest the Metro Court meeting takes a daring turn. With each sip of their drinks, Lulu and Isaiah's conversation reportedly deepens, moving from surface-level quips to raw confessions about their respective heartaches. Lulu, dressed in a stunning emerald gown that catches the light, lets down her guard, while Isaiah, rugged yet refined in a tailored jacket, matches her vulnerability with tales of his own struggles in the shadow of Jordan's dangerous assignments. Insiders hint at a charged moment where their hands brush while reaching for a shared appetizer, a small gesture that sends sparks flying. Will this fleeting connection explode into a steamy one-night stand, as some promos subtly imply with lingering glances and a suggestive fade to black? If so, it could mirror the raw and scripted heat of Michael and Sasha's infamous encounter, where a single night of abandon rewrote their destinies. But unlike that pairing, Lulu and Isaiah carry unique baggage and resolve longing for Dante and his unspoken hopes for Jordan. Could this impulsive act be a mere escape from their pain, or might it plant the seeds of a romance that neither anticipated? The stakes are sky high, and the fallout promises to be anything but simple. Ripples through Port Charles relationships. The potential liaison between Lulu and Isaiah isn't just a personal detour, it's a bombshell waiting to detonate across multiple storylines. For Isaiah, any dalliance with Lulu could slam the door on his lingering aspiration for a future with Jordan Ashford. Jordan, deeply entrenched in her high-stakes WSB operation and rekindling a tender bond with Curtis Ashford, has inadvertently pushed Isaiah to the margins. But what happens if news of his night with Lulu reaches her ears? Speculation abounds that Jordan, despite her current focus, might feel a pang of jealousy or betrayal, especially given her history of complex emotions toward those she's worked closely with. This could ignite a fiery confrontation at the PCPD headquarters, where Jordan's steely professionalism clashes with raw personal hurt. Meanwhile, Isaiah might grapple with newfound feelings for Lulu, questioning whether his heart truly lies with Jordan or if this unexpected connection offers a fresh start. The emotional tug-of-war could redefine his place in Port Charles, potentially drawing him into the orbit of the Spencer family with all its inherent drama. On Lulu's side, a passionate slip with Isaiah could be the ultimate signal of moving on from Dante Falconeri. Dante, already distant after the explosive revelation of Gio's paternity and increasingly drawn to Brooklyn Quartermain for support, might view Lulu's actions as the final straw. Picture a tense scene at Kelly's diner, where Dante overhears whispers of Lulu's late-night escapade, his jaw tightening as he processes the betrayal. Yet, this could also push Lulu to embrace her independence, shedding the weight of Dante's judgment. GH history tells us that such bold moves often come with unforeseen consequences. And fans are already theorizing about whether this tryst might rekindle old flames, or simply widen the chasm between Lulu and Dante. With Brooklyn potentially caught in the middle, offering Dante solace while navigating her own family ties, the Quartermain and Falconeri dynamics could face unprecedented strain. The soap opera twist, a pregnancy plotline. No General Hospital storyline would be complete without a classic soap opera twist, and whispers of a potential pregnancy bombshell are already circulating among fans. If Lulu and Isaiah's night of passion results in an unexpected bundle of joy, the ramifications would reverberate through every corner of Port Charles. Imagine Lulu, already emotionally fragile, facing the reality of a pregnancy test in the privacy of her apartment, her mind racing with thoughts of Dante's reaction and Isaiah's role in her future. Such a development would echo Sasha Gilmore Corbin's baby drama, but with a distinctly Spencer flair, perhaps involving Tracy Quartermain's sharp-tongued interference as she attempts to protect the family name. Tracy, already juggling Quartermain chaos, might view this as yet another scandal to manage, orchestrating late-night strategy sessions at the mansion to control the narrative. For Isaiah, a child would force a stark reassessment of his transient lifestyle, binding him to Lulu in ways he never anticipated. Would he step up as a father figure, or struggle with the weight of responsibility amid his unresolved ties to Jordan? Moreover, a pregnancy plotline could serve as a catalyst for Lulu to confront her buried feelings for Dante. A heartfelt scene at the hospital, where Lulu undergoes a confirmation ultrasound while Dante accidentally walks in, could spark a raw exchange of regrets and lingering love. Yet, it might also solidify her resolve to forge a new path with Isaiah, especially if he shows unexpected tenderness in the face of such life-changing news. The Spencer and Falconeri clans would be thrown into disarray, with Laura Collins likely stepping in as a voice of reason, her mayor's composure tested by personal stakes. Add to this the potential for genetic drama, perhaps a health scare tied to Lulu's past coma recovery, and the storyline could deepen into a medical mystery, keeping viewers on edge for weeks. A night that could change everything. As the previews for next week's episodes continue to tease, Lulu Spencer and Isaiah Gannon's drink date at the Metro Quarter, potentially the gritty charm of the Brown Dog Bar, holds the power to upend lives in ways no one saw coming. Their chemistry, born from shared vulnerability and unspoken longing, might ignite a fleeting escape or blossom into a romance that defies the odds. Yet, the shadows of Jordan Ashford and Dante Falconeri loom large, their reactions poised to add layers of tension and heartbreak to an already volatile situation. Whether this encounter fizzles out as a momentary lapse or explodes into a full-blown saga, complete with a possible baby bombshell, one thing is certain: Port Charles will never be the same. Fans are left speculating about every detail, from the exact words exchanged over martinis to the potential fallout at family gatherings. Will Lulu find the strength to redefine her future, and can Isaiah carve out a place for himself amid the chaos? Next, we will explore the emotional whirlwind sweeping through Port Charles as Elizabeth Baldwin grapples with the devastating aftermath of Lucky Spencer's sudden exit. His unexpected departure, spurred by her rejection of a deeply personal marriage proposal, has shattered their storied romance and left fans reeling with questions about her future. Will Elizabeth find the strength to open her heart again, or will the pain of Lucky's absence keep her locked in solitude? In this expanded exploration, we'll delve into her emotional journey, introduce fresh details about her potential suitors, and imagine new twists that could redefine her path in Port Charles. Buckle up for a deep dive into heartbreak, hope, and the tantalizing possibilities of new love. A heartbreaking farewell to an iconic love. Elizabeth Baldwin stands at a crossroads, her heart heavy with the echoes of Lucky Spencer's final goodbye. The moment she turned down his earnest marriage proposal, a decision born from the painful awareness of his restless, wandering nature, marked the end of an era for one of General Hospital's most beloved couples. Lucky's candid confession that staying in Port Charles was no longer an option, paired with his abrupt exit, has left Elizabeth in a haze of regret and loneliness. As she watches him leave, reportedly in a tearful scene outside General Hospital under the dim glow of streetlights, she's forced to confront the reality that their love story, once a beacon of hope, may have reached its final chapter. Friends note that Elizabeth has been retreating into herself, her shifts at the hospital becoming her only solace as she processes this loss. Meanwhile, her son Aidan Weber, off on a temporary journey with Lucky to find closure, leaves her home eerily quiet, amplifying her sense of isolation. Could this profound emptiness be the catalyst for a surprising turn in her romantic life, or will the shadow of Lucky's departure keep her from moving forward? Vulnerability paves the way for new connections. In the wake of Lucky's exit, Elizabeth's vulnerability shines through in quiet, poignant moments that hint at her readiness for something or someone new. Sources reveal she's been leaning on close confidants like Terry Randolph for late-night conversations over coffee at Kelly's Diner, pouring out her doubts about ever finding love again. Yet, it's in these raw and guarded instances that her heart might begin to crack open. A seemingly mundane encounter at the hospital cafeteria, where she shares a fleeting smile with a colleague, could signal the stirrings of something unexpected. Her past betrayals, from Lucky's repeated absences to other romantic disappointments, have built towering walls around her emotions, making her wary of risking pain once more. Still, the loneliness etched into her evenings spent alone on her porch, gazing at the stars with a glass of untouched wine, suggests a longing for connection. Will Elizabeth allow herself to embrace a fresh start, or will the ghosts of her past with Lucky keep her tethered to what once was? The stage is set for a transformation, but the path forward remains uncertain. The contenders for Elizabeth's heart step forward. As Elizabeth navigates her heartbreak, several Port Charles men emerge as potential sparks in her dimmed world, each bringing a unique blend of history, chemistry, and complications. First in line is Rick Lansing, her ex-husband, whose lingering gaze during a chance meeting at the courthouse hints at unresolved passion. Despite his recent entanglements with Ava Jerram's schemes, insiders whisper that Rick is poised to make amends, perhaps with a heartfelt apology delivered in the rain outside Elizabeth's home. A nod to their stormy yet fiery past. However, his involvement in Alexis Davis' tangled legal battles could cast a shadow over any rekindled flame, as Elizabeth wrestles with trusting a man whose loyalties often waver. Could a late-night confession over shared memories of their daughter Molly Lansing Davis mend old wounds, or will Rick's penchant for drama push Elizabeth away once and for all? Then there's Jason Morgan, the brooding protector whose deep bond with Elizabeth stretches back 3 years of shared trauma and unspoken longing. Their history is a quiet undercurrent, evident in stolen glances during tense hospital emergencies. But Jason's unwavering loyalty to Carly Spencer and the ongoing paternity saga involving Sasha Gilmore Corbin and Michael Corinthos might keep him at arm's length. Imagine a moment where Jason, battered from a recent mission, seeks Elizabeth's care at General Hospital, their hands brushing as she bandages a wound, a silent reminder of what could be. Yet, his divided heart and dangerous lifestyle pose a barrier Elizabeth may not be willing to cross again. Will their past ignite a slow-burn romance, or remain a bittersweet what-if in her life? A wild-card contender enters the fray in the form of Dr. Hamilton Finn, whose own battles with personal demons offer a chance for a connection rooted in mutual healing. Their shared world at General Hospital, from late-night rounds to stolen coffee breaks in the break room, creates a natural backdrop for camaraderie to bloom into something deeper. Finn's recent struggles, however, including his fight for sobriety, might make Elizabeth hesitate, fearing she'd be stepping into another emotionally turbulent relationship. Picture a tender scene in the hospital chapel, where Finn opens up about his fears of failing again, and Elizabeth, moved by his honesty, offers a comforting touch. Could this shared vulnerability lay the foundation for a fresh start, or will Finn's ongoing recovery prove too heavy a burden for her already bruised heart? A new face in Port Charles stirs intrigue. Beyond the familiar faces, rumors swirl about a mysterious newcomer arriving in Port Charles, a charismatic stranger with a past that intertwines with Elizabeth's in unexpected ways. Described as a rugged yet kind-hearted contractor named Ethan Cole, hired to renovate parts of General Hospital after a minor flood, he reportedly crosses paths with Elizabeth during a chaotic workday. Their initial interaction helping her carry medical supplies through a cluttered hallway reveals a gentle humor and quiet strength that catches her off guard. Word on the street is that Ethan harbors a secret connection to Elizabeth's early nursing days, perhaps a forgotten patient or a friend from a distant chapter, which could resurface in a dramatic reveal at a hospital fundraiser. His unattached status and lack of Port Charles baggage might offer Elizabeth the clean slate she craves, but will his hidden history complicate their budding attraction? Fans are already speculating about whether Ethan could be the dark horse who finally heals her heart. Ripple effects across Port Charles dynamics. Elizabeth's next romantic chapter isn't just about her, it's poised to send shockwaves through the interconnected web of Port Charles relationships. A reunion with Rick Lansing could reignite long-simmering tensions with Molly Lansing Davis, who might view her mother's potential happiness as a betrayal amid her own struggles with family loyalty. Picture a heated confrontation at the Davis household, where Molly's sharp words about Rick's past mistakes cut Elizabeth to the core, forcing her to question her choices. Meanwhile, any pull toward Jason Morgan risks clashing with Carly Spencer's protective instincts, as Caroline, ever a staunch supporter of Elizabeth's, might see this as a threat to her own dynamic with Jason. A charged exchange at the Metro Court, with Carly's icy stare meeting Elizabeth's quiet defiance, could set the stage for a feud that divides loyalties across town. If Finn steps into the picture, his fragile recovery might draw concern from colleagues like Terry Randolph, who could caution Elizabeth against entangling herself in another high-risk romance, perhaps over a tense lunch at the hospital cafeteria. And should the enigmatic Ethan Cole win her affection, his mysterious background might unearth old Port Charles scandals, pulling in unexpected players like Laura Collins or even Tracy Quartermain to weigh in on Elizabeth's future. Every choice she makes will ripple outward, reshaping alliances and sparking drama in ways that keep GH viewers glued to their screens. Will Elizabeth's quest for love unite or divide the town she calls home? Fan frenzy and the future of Elizabeth's heart. The online GH community is ablaze with theories and hopes following Lucky's departure, with fans expressing both devastation and excitement over Elizabeth's next move. Social media platforms are flooded with hashtags like Lysandra Crunion and Jason's Lowburn, reflecting a split between those craving the fiery nostalgia of Rick's return and others dreaming of Jason's quiet intensity melting Elizabeth's defenses. Some even champion the idea of Finn as a redemption partner, while a growing faction is intrigued by the buzzer on newcomer Ethan Cole, with comments like "a fresh face might be what Liz needs to forget Lucky," flooding fan forums. At a recent virtual watch party, viewers shared tearful reactions to Lucky's exit, but many expressed optimism, noting Elizabeth's resilience as a single mother and nurse could lead her to a love story that's uniquely hers. Will she choose the comfort of a familiar face like Rick or Jason, the tender potential of Finn, or the thrilling unknown of Ethan? Or might Lucky's shadow keep her heart guarded and able to fully let go? A crossroads of heartache and hope. As Elizabeth Baldwin stands on the precipice of a new chapter, the pain of Lucky Spencer's exit lingers like a storm cloud over Port Charles. Yet, amidst the heartache, glimmers of possibility shine through in the form of Rick Lansing's persistent charm, Jason Morgan's unspoken history, Finn's shared struggles, and even the enigmatic allure of newcomer Ethan Cole. Each contender offers a different path, some paved with nostalgia, others with fresh promise, but all carry the potential to reshape Elizabeth's future and the dynamics of the town around her. Will she find the courage to risk her heart again, stepping into a romance that could redefine her life, or will the weight of past losses keep her from embracing what's next? Stay tuned to ABC General Hospital as this emotional saga unfolds, promising tears, tension, and the kind of love stories that keep us hooked week after week. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think is the right match for Elizabeth? And how do you see her healing from Lucky's goodbye? Your insights fuel our passion for GH spoilers, so let's keep the conversation alive until the next dramatic twist.